Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here in the outskirts of the internet. It's the Gaming Saloon Reviews for December 7th, 2025, which I host Peace Bear 248 and wrap it up, Salon.
Hi.
It's the final 3 episodes of Gaim. Yay. Although, there was something else about at least the last couple episodes that made me realize something.
What?
Have they tried recreating this finale? Not like the final fight and stuff, but the creating a new world to save the current world.
I mean, from a technical stance, they did in build.
Yeah. Also, it's gotcha art.
Yeah.
Is that why they keep doing it? Is this finale?
No, I think it's just that's a common hero trope kind of deal.
Okay.
It's a case of the reason why the next one doesn't talk about what happened with the previous one is because it magically went away, or people magically forgot. It happens a lot more in animes than it does in live action stuff. But it's similar concept to that.
Yeah, I feel like the reason they don't get into the weeds about what happened in the last show and the current show is because it complicates things unnecessarily, because it's like, oh, here's this thing that doesn't matter to the current show, so why bother bringing it up?
Because Toei has this innate ability of doing crossovers that don't make sense.
Right.
Because case in point, bear in mind, while while some of what happens in the very final episode is going on, that's actually during the opening part for Drive.
Yeah. Granted, this is also the first time somebody from the next show does not show up at the end of this show or of the current show. Because they started that trend with Double and then stopped doing it with Gaim. Granted, I feel like Gaim is just this hard stopping point for a lot of things they were trying, because they were trying to soft connect the shows together to build a kind of like soft connective universe. And then Gaim happened and then they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Because like nobody from
also was kind of in that era of everyone wanting a connected universe.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of things didn't.
At least they try to bring it back with like the first, well, technically Pac-Man and then the first Heisei Generations movie.
Yeah.
It's after that that it's like, right, that we're in the Geo stuff. Oh boy.
Well, Geo ruined everything. He took that away from Decade too.
There is so much of Decade's DNA in Geo for all the wrong reasons that I just shake my head and go, did you learn nothing? Nothing from Decade.
They learned something. How to make it worse.
Yes. Categorically, I would say Geo's a worse show than Decade. Anywho, it's the final 3 episodes of Gaim, our 2-part finale, basically, and then the random epilogue episode that we'll talk about.
Those things.
But any thoughts going into these 3?
I kind of wish that the fight wasn't split between 2 episodes.
Yeah.
It's one of those of any point where a finale for a show needed filler, it had to be within these first two.
Mm-hmm.
It really needed to be. That way the entirety of the fight was all one episode. You had all the build up in this first one, and then the fight in the second one. Essentially, this gift that I've got should have been the final viewpoint for the first episode in this patch.
Mm-hmm. That way. Yeah, because I can even see it now. Like the next episode, it starts with their conversation. Like there's no opening. Honestly, you don't even get the opening, like the opening title until basically the end of the episode, which, because you have their opening dialogue and stuff, and you don't get music until the drop for Rambo Escalation. And that basically serves as the opening of the episode, is that opening fight, part of the fight.
I almost feel like if someone recut it, that would wind up working so much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that drop into Rambo Escalation is so fucking good and well timed. Because it doesn't start on Kaito's part, it starts on Kota's part. Because it just starts on him just yelling, because Kota's like, fine, we're doing this. I don't want to do this, but we're fucking doing this. Because at this point, Kota's like, I didn't choose this fight. I didn't want to have this fight. But if we're going to have this fucking fight, we are having this goddamn fight.
And I swear that's the entirety of this show, is just Kota having to fight. Not that he's wanting to, it's that he's having to. Because
which feels so much better than
no one else in the show understands that we can fix stuff.
Which is such a better version of Shinji from Ryuki, because Shinji's the best way, that same way in Ryuki, where he's just like, I don't want to fight people. I don't want to participate in this rider war, but he sucks at it. He sucks at trying to talk to people. At least Kota tries to talk and understand people, and is so much better at it.
I think what works better in Kota's aspect is it's not a case of he dead set is clinging to the we have to talk it out. It's, I'm going to try to talk you out of this. When that doesn't work, I'm going to beat you over the head, and then we're going to talk this out.
If you don't want to talk, I will throw hands, and then we'll talk, because your ass will be on the ground and I will take a seat next to you and we will have a conversation.
It's one of those, I will get my answer one way or the other. Whether or not we have to fight in the middle, that's up to you.
But anything else before we hit the recap?
No.
All right, kick off episode 45, The Fated Two's Final Battle. We start with Peko getting a letter from Zack because he has plans. The letter is specifically to Orin. As we'll find out later, it's a letter to Orin to be like, can you make me a bomb that will kill Kaito? And Orin's like, all right, cool, we'll run with this.
What could possibly go wrong?
Mm-hmm. But before that, Kota basically reveals that he's becoming something like the Overlords with the Kiwami Lock Seed, and everyone's kind of worried for him. And too little, too late, folks. To be honest.
Yep.
Far too little, too late on that one. Michi continues to just sob in the corner because he's out of plot, basically.
Yep, he has been ejected from the bulk of the show.
We then catch up with Mai, we catch up with Mai, who talks to Kaito in his dreams, and we see what his future looks like, and it's basically a repeat of the Overlords. Helheim, basically. Just everything in ruin, covered with the vines.
Which
It
accurate.
would have been interesting if they gave Mai a monster form for this one shot, but that was too much. Because Kaito is in his Lord Baron form, but Mai's just regular Mai. Well, her current state, Mai.
But it honestly makes sense narratively already.
Mhm.
Because from what we've seen from the previous world, that essentially would have been the case too.
Mm-hmm.
So it works, but I kind of agree with you that would have been more fitting.
Yeah. Especially because Kaito's like, you and the fruit are one and the same, and I will come get you. And it's like, Mai is just like, you're not, you don't care about me, you care about the fruit. Which accurate.
Yeah.
Over to Troopers, where Zack gets his bomb and is basically like, look, I don't want to do this, but we're nipping this in the bud before things get worse. Unfortunately, after a talk with Kaito, basically just to confirm for himself, it's like, Kaito, are you really gonna go through with this? Are you gonna just like blow the world up? The Kaito's like, yeah. Zack's like, all right, fine. Leaves the bomb, tries to leave the bomb without being noticed. Yoko notices, tries to fight the control out of, or the little detonator out of his hand. Does it, but it gets away from the both of them. She tries to go save Kaito and gets blown off a building when Zack detonates it. This will kill her, even though she transformed before it happened. Welcome to like the one major griping point everyone had about this finale.
Mm-hmm.
The constant fighter and badass goes out crappily.
Because that's
Minato
a bomb
done.
that anyone could have stopped.
Yep. Because that's Yoko done for the show. Like, Kaito beats up Zack here, destroys his belt, and just leaves him for being picked up by somebody later. Because we see he's alive in the final episode. But Minato's like, do you care about me? And Kaito's like, kinda? And it's like, well, that's her done. Meanwhile, Kota eats a Helheim fruit and nothing happens to him, basically confirming, yeah, he's an overlord now, basically. And he confesses everything to his sister before the military shows up and evacs everyone. Because Kota's like, well, I'll handle Kaito and Zack. You guys leave. And Kota's like, well, time to go face Destiny, I guess. Because he even tells Mai, who's like talking to him, it's just like, yeah, I know what I want, but I'm gonna have to go through Kaito for it. But then the two of them meet up with their Invest army since they can both control Invest. I will say, I wish there was a better way to distinguish between their halves of the Invests.
Yeah.
Which is probably the point, that you can't tell unless one of them directly attacks them who's on whose side, because does it really matter?
It's mainly there just to have nameless fighters kind of deal.
Yeah.
It would honestly be a little bit better if maybe some of the ones that were making up the non-just generic Invest kind of represented either forms or people that were directly related to one of the two of them kind of deal.
Yeah.
Where it could be a little bit more of, oh yeah, this one's primarily been seen with Kota, either him fighting it or like the flashback that he kind of had where he had to come to terms with becoming an overlord kind of deal. Even that one. It'd be like, I could see that working better.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just random Invis fighting in the background. You're like, I don't know who's winning besides just because the entire fight was really down to Kota and Kaito. Because after a while, the Invis just go poof, and it's just the two of them slugging it out.
Which, I mean, that's really all the fight ever was to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, the two of them exchange words. Kaito's like, look, I want what I want, and I will go through you for it. And Kota's like, I can't let you go through me, so we're doing this. Two of them henshin. We get Rambu escalation starting and then continuing for the entire episode, even to the eye catch with the lock seeds. It never stops. And the two of them basically slug it out the entire episode. They start fighting on foot, then get on bikes, fight on the bikes, knock each other off the bikes, get on dandelions, fight on the dandelions, shoot each other off the dandelions, fight off invests that from the opposing sides that are trying to kill them. Kota goes Jimba, then Kachidoki, Kaito goes Mango, then his Lord Baron, and just they keep fighting and fighting and fighting until the episode ends with the two of them screaming at each other as Lord Baron and Kachidoki to end the episode.
Which, that's the only flaw I have with the entire fight sequence.
Mm-hmm.
We technically skipped a Kaito form.
That's because he doesn't have the belt anymore. And
he had Minato's.
Borrow you. Yep, he did borrow Yoko's because reasons.
That's the problem that I have with it right there, is it's like you whoopsed on one thing because you could have done that.
Yeah. It would have been nice if there was like an extra beat where Kaito goes limit energy to face down Kachidoki for a second, but then goes Lord Baron.
Because I mean, we know lemon energy against Kachidoki is not a fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those that makes sense. But I feel like we still should have had that step because, quite frankly, Mango was not on par with Jimba either.
No.
So that should have been one of those, we should have at least seen it in the roll through kind of deal. Heck, we pulled Mango and he barely even used Mango.
Mm-hmm. I also think this fight is long enough that if this was the full episode, this would have been where the commercial break happens for them to come back, which does work still.
Yeah.
But we will move on to episode 46, Fate's Victor. The two of them are still slugging it out. We even get, I noticed that there's a quick shot where it's cut in, but I assume it's cut in to kind of show how the Kachidoki flag breaks in the fight.
I did notice it on this one.
Yeah, you see it hit the ground, and then the cut later, they cut back to the fight later, and they're still fighting. And I assume they inserted that shot there in the middle of this fight that doesn't look like it's supposed to be cut to explain why the flag then breaks mid-fight.
Which,
but yeah,
bravo on them for one, recognizing that it broke mid-fight, and two, said, you know what, we're making this the take.
Yeah, because they keep fighting. Kota goes Kiwami. He just throws weapons at Kaito until Kaito's like, fucking come at me. And so Kota pulls out the DJ Gun's big sword mode, which I don't know why they had the light on it stay for like the entire clash until they broke away from each other. It was just like this weird detail because it like there's a light that goes up the blade when he first puts it together. It stays there the entire time they're locked in, and then it goes away when they break out.
Do we see the DJ gun after this?
No.
Even in crossover movies or anything, we never see it again, do we?
We see Takatora's version of it.
But we don't see this version of it, at least.
We might see it in Full Throttle, but I don't remember.
I don't remember if we did or not. Because if we don't, then that makes me wonder if something went wrong with the prop.
Mm.
And that could be one of those, same reason we don't really get to see Kachidoki post-series.
We got to see the flags in Gotchard.
When stuff kind of breaks, they kind of have to no longer use it. Because
But yeah, they
usually they're not going to repair something just for one thing.
But they continue to slug it out until eventually Kaito gets the advantage, slashes seemingly Kota open, almost gets the win, but Kota blocks it, breaks the sword, which this entire time Maya's watching through the possibility world of possibility things. So in that you have Kota and Kaito fighting in their base forms. And there, Kota breaks the spear, and then he stabs Kaito with the broken part of the spear and kills him. And as Kota's dying, Kaito's like, fucking do what you need to do. You won. Own it. And then keel's over. So Mai's pulled back into the present by Kota. I do like that that Kota still asks Mai for permission. Even though he's won, like no one else can beat him, he still asks Mai for permission for the fruit. Which I think is like the key difference between the two of them, because Kaito wouldn't have asked for permission if he won. He would have just been like, fruit now.
Yeah.
Kota's like, is it okay? I do also, again, love his line of like, when he has it in his hand, he's like, all of this, everything that has happened for this one stupid fucking thing. I love that, just because that just really just shows Kota's just exacerbated by it all. He's so fucking done at this point. Especially because Kaito's corpse is just behind him. Like, Kaito did not disappear. He is just dead behind them. Which makes me wonder what happened to his body afterwards. Because he doesn't go poof like other villains do.
Well, we didn't need a big explosion for his body.
Yeah. But even then, he doesn't like disintegrate in the particles or dissipate in the invest leaves or whatever. No, his corpse just lays there behind them for this entire conversation. And I'm like, because of like dialogue in the last episode, it seems like nobody really knows what happened to Kaito unless they were in the know. So like, did they just show up first, find Kaito's corpse and went like, I guess he lost. Because we can't find Kota and we can't find Mai. Anywho, Kota eats the fruit. He gets his overlord form, which is mostly Kiwami's suit, except the chest piece is now the Matsuhiko arms chest piece, which feels appropriate. He also looks suspiciously like Yuya, but that is less to do with the design and more just, oh, he has to have hair that matches Mai, I guess.
Apparently.
Mm-hmm. And then Sakura shows up. It's like, all right, time to see you blow up the world and make it your own. And Kota's like, nah, I found a planet that's lifeless. We're going to take all this shit to there and like make something out of it. And Sakura's like, that's a stupid idea. You're on your own on that one. You'll be lonely. And Kota's like, well, I got her and she's okay with this. I kind of wish Mai had a line during this entire conversation.
Right.
But basically two of them are like, yeah, no, we're going to turn this into something worthwhile and literally suck up all the invests in all of the forest and just drop it off on this planet. And Sakura's like, all right, fine. Do you? I'm gonna go test the next civilization, which are some bipedal reptile people or something. I don't know.
It never gets said.
Yeah. He just goes off to do this all over again because I guess we can't really kill the forest. Granted, I don't think Sakura has any sort of form to kill. But yeah, Kosa and Mai leave and they're on this planet. 3 months later, Droopers is busy with stuff. Jonochi hangs up a poster of Hase because he doesn't know what happened to Hase until next episode. Zax is, I guess, in charge of the beat writers now as they perform on stage and continue to do their thing.
Apparently.
Michi is hiding and Zax spots him and is like, hey, it's okay, you can come back. And Michi's like, no, it's not. And just leaves. We find out that Takatora got found offshore, brought into a hospital. He's alive, but his injuries basically mean he's in a coma. And that's where Kota shows up in Takatora's coma to be like, you need to go back and fix Michi because I can't be there to fix him. And Takatora's like, you sure about that? I don't know if I can. I fucked that up already. And Kota's like, just try again. It'll be okay. Try it for realsies this time. And so Takatora wakes up, Michi's happy, and that is the episode. How do you feel about our 2-part finale?
I feel like the weirdest out of left field thing is Takatora.
It really does feel like, yeah, we need him back. Sorry.
We probably shouldn't have for realsy killed him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, outside of that, I mean, this is probably one of the best endings that we've gotten, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because it literally pays off everything that has been built up the entire show. From day one, even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really good finale. Even though, like, Sakura's still out there doing his shit, I'm like, there's worse things that could be happening, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hi, Volt. How you doing? At least, granted, the Volt's bullshit was because of the one fucking V cinema, so, eh. But yeah, it's a really good finale. I adore this fight because there's nothing fancy about this fight. It is two people just going, we're fighting until one of us dies and just slugging out the entire time. There's nothing fancy, nothing flashy. This is just a knockdown, drag out fight until one of us keels over. I guess any other thoughts before our epilogue?
No.
All right, episode 47, Transformation and Into the Future. We get a little flashback of Michi and Kota hanging out, I guess before Michi got his belt, because Kota takes out some invest, but then has to go to an interview, and Michi overhears people being like, "Ooh, the beat writers might have been responsible for this."
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Because Kota makes a comment a little bit later about Michi fighting with him. So that kind of makes me think that no, this is at some point when he's got the belt.
Okay. I must have missed that line, but the two of them are talking and stuff, and we see that it's Michi reminiscing about this several months after our fight. Takatora is busy basically dismantling Yggdrasil. Because the second half of the finale, in our 3 months forward, we see Yggdrasil Tower was being dismantled piece by piece. I think by Full Throttle, it's fully dismantled. And they're building something in its place. That part I don't remember.
I don't.
But either. I know Takatora's... They're building something at the start of Full Throttle before all the shit goes down, but I just don't remember what. But yeah, Takatora's trying to, like, be a good brother now, but it's not quite working. Michi kind of peeks at the beat riders, and everyone's like, hey, come dance with us. It's okay. And Michi's like, no, I don't wanna. And pisses off. Later, Taktora and Akira, Kota's sister, meet. They talk about things. We find out that, or technically it's in the previous episode, but we see that Jodochi's handling a second Charmant in Zawami City. I guess he's worked hard enough to just own his own restaurant now. Good for him. Hopefully Orin taught him how to do taxes as well. Besides, you know, all the chef stuff.
Taxes, what are those?
Mm-hmm. But then we get the locust monster from the soccer movie stuff attacking. And then we also see that some fangirl for Team Gaim has been hijacked by Mars from said soccer movie, who's back as Jam, a black repaint of his suit with a new helmet. He's out for revenge on everyone, even though everyone's like, who the fuck are you? Even Michi's like, who? I don't know who you are. And he's like, all right, none of you actually remember what happened in that movie. Fuck you anyway. So yeah, he beats up Michi for a bit, and then the monster beats up everybody else because, as we saw, nobody has a belt basically but Michi at this point. But after the monsters beat everybody up and leave, a group talk is basically like, well, we can make the belts again because that's not the hard part. The hard part is we have no lock seeds and we have no means to make lock seeds. Which I guess means that they still need regular lock seeds to make the energy lock seeds to make the Genesis drivers. So that's still an option. Yeah. I know they only talk about the Sengoku driver, but I'm like, well, the Genesis drivers don't use regular lock seeds, but I guess you need regular lock seeds to turn them into the energy lock seeds.
Apparently.
But yeah, eventually Jodochi figures out from what Taktora talks about that, oh, he has a backup Kurokage trooper driver in a Pinecone lock seed, and he goes and takes it, and that's where he finds out that, like, oh yeah, we killed Hase because he got turned into an invest, and he's like, yep, that sucks. But I'm gonna go fight Jam because somebody has to step up. So Jodochi becomes the Kurokage trooper to fight Jam, his locust pet, and he gets a few shots in and then starts to get his ass kicked, and then the belt gets blown up. But thankfully Michi's here with his belt and him going, we still have one lock seed, and I just go, you technically have two lock seeds. Where's your Kiwi lock seed? Where's your big dumb Gekiriken that I hate because they're too fucking big? I shouldn't be complaining. I want to see less of that form, to be honest.
And here you are wanting to see more of it.
Yeah, they really need to give Michi a new form that's not that. So he has something else.
Good luck with that.
Yep. So yeah, Michi does his best. I love that the first frame of this fight is him getting knocked into camera. But he does hold his own for a bit, and he's ready to fight. But then Jim is like, hi, I'm possessing this random girl. If you want to kill her, go ahead. And Michi's like,
I don't want to kill anyone anymore.
Can't kill, must be good. You're lucky. I'm trying to be better. So then he like undoes his transformation and then gets beat up for a bit. And he's like, Kota, I'm sorry. I'm bad at this. And Kota's like, it's okay. I'm here to help. And then he just literally flies in as the golden fruit, blows up the invest just by existing. And he's like, hey, Michi. Oh, this dipshit's here. Guess I gotta clean up this one before I am gone till the crossover movie. So him and Michi transform. Kota tosses him his Dai Maru. They beat up Jam. They finish him off with a double rider kick. Kota just like force pulls Jam out of the girl so they can kill him without a problem. So they do that. Kota's like, hey, Michi, you're doing fine. You'll be fine without me. It's okay. Tell my sister I said hi and I'm okay. And then leaves. And then everybody shows up to congratulate Michi on doing half the work, basically. But we end the episode with that tree that was in Yggdrasil is back and it's planted and it's regrown. And Kaito's spirit is just hanging out at the tree now, and him and Mai talk over the not Kota, not Kaito, and literally not Mai, because she is wearing the same exact dress Mai has been wearing since before she became an overlord. Dancing and talking. It's just like, well, they'll make their mistakes again. She's like, it's okay. They'll make up for it. That's kind of how this works. Kaito's like, all right, fine, whatever. And then just poofs away as his spectral ghost self that haunts this tree now. I'm just assuming so. There's no reason for that to be the case. But then Kota and Mai are like, all right, we took care of business, ready to go home. And then she's like, all right, cool. And then we see the planet become a big glowing blue planet. And we get our thanks for supporting the show for the year. And that is all for Gaim. Except for the preview we get for Drive for like what would have been next week. And I think in my video file, they also tossed in the first commercial for the Drive driver. So how do you feel about our epilogue?
It was definitely an epilogue.
They tried real hard to make you believe that they have redeemed Michi to any degree, and I go, even Full Throttle doesn't do quite enough. I feel like it takes the novel, and from my understanding, the novel is basically our remaining writers handling a revived Bujin Gaim. I think by then, Michi has kind of redeemed himself because he's had to do this shit on his own with the help of everyone else, but still.
I mean, is he really redeemed at that point?
Not really, but at least he's balanced out the good he has done with all the dumbassery he's done. Or at least attempted. But yeah, it's a fine epilogue. It puts everybody in place for the future, and I guess like shows that like, hey, things are turning out better in Zawami City now. There's honestly not much else to this epilogue. It honestly would have been cool if like Jinochi just got to be the hero for the epilogue.
Would have been more fitting, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe show Michi attempting to try to fix the mistakes he's made, but don't let it just play off as, oh yeah, he completely tried to abandon everyone and on multiple occasions attempt to kill everyone. But no, he's fine.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's only like Pecco who's like, man, fuck that guy. He sucks.
Yeah, everyone else is like, but give him a chance. No. Last time you all gave him a chance, look what he tried to do.
We gave this man chances. He blew every one of them in our face. People died because of his mistakes. He's only lucky that the 2 people that died because of his dumbassery got to revive. Literally. Because Kota died for his sins, and Mai died because of that. It was literally 2 birds with 1 stone. Good job, Michi. You killed both of your best friends in one fell swoop.
All because you were being you.
Yep. At least I can say that Gaim kind of keeps its position on my tier list of being in the 4 of the best of my favorites, the 4th show of that lot. Not necessarily in the 4th position, but it's the 4th one to have reached that point.
Yeah, I don't think my view of Gaim has rewatch.
But we're not done with Gaim. In 2 weeks, we're gonna watch the Gaim Guidance. The 2 V Cinema ones. We're not watching all of the Gaim Gaiden content. Because that's a stage play, and then all of the Grid and Bravo specials. Absolutely not. We'll watch the Zangetsu Baron one and the Duke Knuckle one. Because apparently they're both like an hour long. I thought they were longer. I guess any other thoughts?
No?
All right, then. Between now and then, Thursday, we're going to see if we can get more of the Gotcha Kimmy done. Friday continues our year-end extravaganza with... I pulled that up because I don't have the schedule there. It might be.
I made it and I don't remember. That's the messed up part.
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. Site, please load. Site, please load. Please load faster. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Yes, Destiny 2. We may or may not get finished Final Shape. I don't know. I don't know how much Final Shape we have left.
I have no idea.
And then Saturday, it will be Cursed Halo, as long as that cooperates. And then next week will be us talking about the Game Awards. There's apparently been this statue in a desert that studios have said it's not theirs or jokingly said it's theirs. And I go, whatever this thing is going to be will not be that interesting. I can almost guarantee it.
What?
It can't be anything cool. It's not going to be anything cool. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be back to finish our Gaim content, and then I don't know what we're doing afterwards.
Good question.
We might be spinning the wheel of adaptation. Do we have? No, we don't. Okay. That would be the first TGSR for next year. We might spin the wheel of adaptation and see what for like that first week before we decide, and I might let you decide again off the list that's in there. I mean, unlike the Across the Cuberverse list, there's no bad options, personally. But yeah, that is the week ahead, folks. So if you like what you're seeing, you drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Exclamation point. YouTube and chat gets the YouTube archive for this and all our other streams. I'm putting up your Spartan Ops stuff Tuesday. I don't know how much of it there is, but that's apparently next on the list. You probably don't even remember doing Spartan Ops in like 2021, 2020.
Nope.
Fair enough. There's like, I think at least 4 videos of it. But yeah, that amongst other stuff from like miscellaneous stuff from 2021 into 2020 will be going up in the next week or so. Exclamation point social and chat gets their social media handles so you know when we go live. And exclamation point Discord and chat gets a link. Drop by, say hi, and we'll see you Thursday, folks.